From LEX 18, your official UK sports station for Big Blue Nation, this is BBN Tonight.
Welcome to BBN Tonight. I'm Keith Farmer.
And I'm Mary Jo Perino. Coming up, Coach Mark Stoops talks about where his team stands during this week off of football. We'll
also get a mid-season review from former Cats Cash Daniel and Jeff Picoro of the UK Sports Network. Now, as we talked about on Monday, this is a bye week for UK football. Hear what Mark Stoops has to say about the team in tonight's Big Blue story presented by Baptist Health. After 6 games, it's pretty clear the defense is humming along, but the offense struggling. On his Monday radio show, Stoops talked about the lack of scoring against Georgia and his team's hopes to start getting receivers open.
We created some space and created some third down conversions and had some plays that way. It's the down the field plays that we need to create, from the same looks that I'm talking about right there and others, creating bunches and creating stacks and getting guys free and then hitting some shots down the field.
There's also a quick update on Kentucky's next opponent, Vanderbilt. Former UK quarterback Danny Clark has opted out of playing for the Commodores with no disclosed explanation. He had not seen any playing time with the team through 3 games. So again,
Keith, there's your explanation.
I know, right? Yeah, no playing time, so you wanted to look elsewhere?
Yeah, I totally forgot about Danny Clark at all. But the offense has got some issues. I asked Tom Leach on Monday, is this a wide receiver problem? And he said, that's not the only thing, but yeah, right now that's what looks to be the biggest issue.
Coach said, though, after the game, they were looking to go downfield. They just didn't. Yeah, the quarterback didn't, yes.
All right, let's turn to some basketball now. The team's incoming players continue to draw national attention. CBS ranks Brandon Boston among college basketball's 10 most important freshmen for the 2020 season. He's also on the Julius Erving Award preseason watch list. Keith, everybody loves Brandon Boston, and why not? We keep hearing great things about his game.
I think Kentucky fans will also call him the most important or one of the most important because he's part of that #1 ranked recruiting class, and he does come in with, a lot. I mean, he did a lot last season with some very good players around him, something that probably got him ready for what he's about to face this season.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, freshman guard Terrence Clarke has been named to the watch list for the 2021 Jerry West Award, which goes annually to the nation's best shooting guard. And Mary Jo, from everything we hear from UK, this is the guy to watch this year. I don't know how he's not on that top 10 most important players.
They probably had to just decide to pick one Kentucky freshman, and so they went with Brandon Boston. But there's a couple others, and Terrence Clarke is certainly one of those guys. The coaching staff absolutely loves him.
I mean, when you're talking about Anthony Davis and John Wall in the same sentence, that's high praise.
And the men's basketball team has rounded out its roster with the addition of walk-on KAREEM Watkins. The freshman point guard replaces Isaac DiGregorio, who left the team last week due to personal reasons. And Keith, you might not recognize the name, but his stepdad is a guy that John Calipari knows very well. That's DeJuan Wagner, who played for him at Memphis.
And how smart is this in the recruiting process, right? Bring in the stepson, because there's also a son that's coming along that, you might want to get in here.
Just happens to be, I think, the #1 player of 2023.
Yeah.
Cal's one step ahead of the game, as usual.
In the NBA, former Kentucky star John Wall is back in action after a long absence. The Washington Wizards guard has been playing 5-on-5 basketball with other stars, including James Harden, following his recovery from a ruptured Achilles tendon that he suffered in December of 2018. I want to see him back on the court. I'm glad he's doing well. It looks like he's running well. I hear that's one of the most difficult injuries to come back from as an athlete, so it's great to see him back out there on the court.
I hate that injuries have plagued him because I really think he could, he's such a special talent, special player, and he's just been boggled by injuries year after year, so I hope this is the last of it. We're going to end this segment with a heart-wrenching interview with Karl Anthony Towns. It's been a few months now since the former UK big man lost his mother, Jacqueline, to COVID-19. Towns was on ESPN, and he opened up for the first time about what he calls the toughest year of his life. Here's how he described his mother's final moments.
We were talking to her, we were laughing. It's such a weird thing. My sister was bringing up stories. She's laughing. Her sister's on the phone. And I remember she cut us off. She said, "Hey, I just want to let you guys know that she has passed away officially." She had took her last breath with laughter. And there was no other way. Jackie would have wanted it. She didn't want people to cry for her. She wanted people to laugh. So she was sent off with laughter. How am I coping and how am I healing from this? I'm trying to heal myself through others. Amen.
What does that look like?
Trying to do as much as I can for my sister and my father. Trying to take care of my friends.
Keith, it's worth going and watching this entire interview. It is so painful. You can see how raw his emotions still are. He's so young. He's 24. He talks about his mom not knowing his kids, and it's heartbreaking, but he's handling it with such grace. I
mean, it gives you a face of what has happened with all of this COVID-19 that we've seen, where people are not there with their loved ones when they do pass. Coming up next on BBN Tonight, we're going to take a look at the state of Kentucky football now that the team has hit its bye week for 2020.
We're going to talk with Cash Daniel and Jeff Pecoro of the UK Sports Network when we return.